Right off the bat, the movie kicks off with an unknown, unconscious guy free falling through the sky at a terrifying speed. Suddenly, midair, he snaps back to reality and panics like crazy when he realizes he's plummeting straight toward the ground. Desperate to survive, he frantically scrambles to deploy the parachute strapped to his back, but luck isn't on his side and the chute completely jams on his first attempt. Just when he's moments away from certain death and practically touching the ground, the parachute miraculously opens on its own. This drops his falling speed just in time, but he still slams hard through the thick tree branches before crashing heavily onto the jungle floor, knocking him out cold once again. Honestly, he's lucky those dense trees were there to break his fall, because even though he took a brutal beating, he actually managed to survive. After quite some time, the guy finally regains consciousness, and this is where we first learn that his name is Peter. Opening his eyes, Peter looks around only to find himself stranded in the middle of a terrifying, spine-chillingly dense jungle. He's completely clueless and can't wrap his head around how or who brought him to this mysterious place. But before Peter can even process his messed up situation, another guy suddenly drops from the sky via parachute and lands right next to him. This newcomer turns out to be a ruthless Mexican gangster, and the second his feet hit the ground, he doesn't hesitate to point a loaded gun straight at Peter's chest. Seeing how bad things are looking, Peter immediately tries to cool the Mexican gangster down, urging him to lower his weapon because he's not there to cause any trouble. Just as the gangster is about to lower his gun based on Peter's words, another guy suddenly plummets from the sky like a rocket, slamming into the ground right before their eyes. The impact crushes his bones, killing him instantly because unfortunately his parachute failed to deploy in time. They both decide to check out the dead body, but before they can even figure out what's going on, a massive barrage of bullets suddenly rains down on them from all directions. With no time to lose, the two of them sprint for their lives to find cover. In the middle of this life or death chaos, Peter plays it smart. He sneaks around the crossfire, gets right behind the shooter, and presses his gun against the guy's head, forcing him to stop firing. Peter makes it crystal clear, saying, "We're not your enemies. Just like you, we dropped from the sky and got stuck in this jungle." Hearing this, the guy cools down and introduces himself as Nikolai. He tells Peter that he was actually in the middle of a brutal, real-life battlefield when someone knocked him out from behind, and the next thing he knew, he woke up in this bizarre place. Nikolai admits he mistook them for enemies, which is why he opened fire. But as the three of them are processing their messed up situation, Peter spots something chilling ahead. A mysterious woman standing in the distance, already aiming a sniper rifle straight at them. This woman turns out to be Isabelle, a highly skilled soldier. Since she was close enough to overhear their entire conversation, she realizes these guys aren't a threat. The four of them decide to team up and push deeper into the jungle. Isabelle mentions that during her free fall, she noticed a few other people dropping with parachutes as well. As they move forward, the camera reveals a Japanese man silently tracking them from the shadows. He has taken off his shoes to move completely soundlessly behind the group, and the four up front have absolutely no clue they are being stalked. Just then, a desperate scream echoes from a distance. The whole squad quickly rushes toward the sound, only to find a guy dangling high up in the air, his parachute hopelessly tangled in the branches of a massive tree. Because his parachute got caught, the guy was dangling upside down from a tree high above. Peter shoots and cuts the parachute ropes with his gun, bringing the man down to the ground. Once down, when asked who he is, the guy says his name is Steve and he is a doctor by profession. Honestly, nobody there had any idea what this place was, and no one knew a way out of this jungle. For this reason, they decide to search for an escape route together, and meanwhile, the Japanese guy also shows up and directly joins their team. After walking a bit through the jungle, they spot a massive pile of human skulls stacked together in one place. Seeing this terrifying sight, the entire team gets heavily scared, clearly realizing this is no ordinary jungle. It is extremely dangerous, and they must get out of here quickly by any means, or else they might all die here. As everyone keeps moving forward, Nikolai spots a strange and unusual-looking tree along the way, which instantly catches his attention. Just as he reaches his hand to touch the tree, the doctor quickly stops Nikolai and warns him that it is actually a highly toxic plant. The doctor explains that just a single drop of liquid from this flower getting on the body can completely paralyze any human. Saying this, he coats the tip of his knife with that poisonous liquid and keeps it with him. As they start moving forward again, the African companion suddenly steps on a deadly booby trap and sharp wooden pieces come rushing toward him from above. Although the African guy somehow saves himself, a massive tree trunk immediately charges toward the rest of the companions right then. Luckily, everyone quickly moves out of the way and survives. But right after, as a bunch of sharp wooden spikes start falling from above, Christine runs for her life and almost falls into a deep pit at one point. Even though she hangs on by holding a piece of wood above, her grip slowly slips as she slides down toward the pile of sharp wood below. At the absolute last moment, Peter arrives there, tightly grabs Christine's hand, pulls her up, and saves her life. Seeing all these lethal traps, no one on the team could wrap their head around who laid such a perfect web in this jungle. Right then, Christine spots a person from a distance through her rifle scope who had actually built these traps. When everyone reaches that guy, they find out he died a long time ago, and the wounds on his body showed he was killed by some terrifying monster. Later, searching his pockets, a diary is found, revealing that this dead individual was a U.S. soldier. Based on the diary's info, Peter tells the rest that this soldier didn't make these traps to catch us, but to hunt some massive monster instead. Because the pit Christine almost fell into was incredibly deep, the soldier thought he would trap the monster by digging such a big pit, but the beast turned the tables and brutally killed the soldier instead. As everyone was leaving that place, the African companion suddenly feels like someone is watching them, and he looks toward a nearby tree with panic. Finding absolutely nothing after searching the trees thoroughly, the African companion moves to the back of the group. But in reality, a strange creature was actually sitting on that tree keeping a close eye on them, which they couldn't see because it was completely invisible. That extraterrestrial being wasn't looking at them with normal eyes, but rather through a type of infrared or thermal fire vision. Later, when they cross the jungle and reach a massive open field, everyone's jaw completely dropped at the sight, because 3 massive planets were floating together in the sky, making them certain that this is not our familiar Earth. They have landed on some alien planet. Even amidst this extreme panic, Peter gives everyone courage, saying that just like how we arrived in this strange world, there must be a way out of here too, and now we need to find that path quickly.
As they start moving forward into the jungle again, a drone suddenly flies right over them, which puts everyone on high alert. Right then, some strange and terrifying creatures rush toward them at intense speed, and to survive, everyone starts shooting at them together. One creature's body completely blasts from the bullets. Meanwhile, when a creature goes after the Mexican convict companion, the African guy steps in, kills it, and saves the convict's life. On the other hand, having no gun, the doctor starts running to save his own life as a creature chases him. But Christine arrives quickly, helps the doctor up a tree, and faces the beast herself. But just as Christine aims her gun to shoot it, she realizes she's completely out of ammo. As the creature slowly advances toward her, Christine gives up hope, thinking her death is certain. Right at that moment, a strange whistle echoes from the jungle, and hearing that sound, the creature turns away like an obedient dog, making them realize these are actually the planet's hunting dogs. They further understand that there is an invisible hunter in this jungle, even more terrifying than these hounds, who wants to kill them. In the middle of this, everyone notices that their gangster companion is missing. Just then, hearing his scream from a distance, they quickly rush there and find their gangster companion sitting quietly with his back to them without moving. Despite calling him repeatedly without getting any answer, Christine slowly starts moving toward him. But seeing Christine move forward, Peter stops her and warns that this could be a trap to set them up. To clear his doubts, Peter throws a large rock at the gangster. As the rock lands near him, the surrounding booby traps trigger and they realize the gangster actually died long ago and was being used as bait. Peter then tells everyone that we must leave this corpse here and go, because if we try to recover him, we will all end up dead. But unable to stand her companion's half-dead and gruesome state, Christine shoots him from a distance to release him from all pain forever. After walking a bit further, they spot massive and strange footprints on the ground, confirming it is the footprint of that monster. Following those tracks, they reach a chilling place where countless human corpses were hanging all around, and some bodies even had their skin ripped off. While everyone was shaking at this horrifying sight, they spot a massive alien hunter or predator tied to a tree. Thinking it is dead, just as Nikolai goes close to touch it, the predator opens its eyes and wakes up with a roaring scream. Immediately, two sharp wooden stakes burst from the ground, piercing straight through the African guy's chest and back, killing him instantly. Amidst this danger, Peter spots a strange outline in the air and fires wildly at it, causing a few bullets to hit the invisible monster as well. But because it was invisible, the monster was overpowering them, so Peter tells everyone to run for their lives. Everyone then sprints at top speed, leaps straight from the cliff into the river below, and swims toward the shore. Right then, a drone flies overhead and spots them crossing the river.
After that, the drone flies straight back to the previous attack site, and the invisible monster there reveals its true form, letting us know that these are actually a type of predator, but their size is much larger than normal predators, and they aren't just one in number. Instead, they are three terrifying hunters. On the other side, after Peter's group reaches the riverbank, Peter tells everyone that these monsters attacking us are actually predators, and they won't let any of us leave this jungle alive. So instead of trying to run away from here, we must turn around and face them. Following this, they hide in the jungle again, and Christine spots a predator from a distance through her rifle scope, so they plan to lay a trap to eliminate it. According to the plan, one of their companions is sent into the jungle as bait and screams to attract the predator toward him. Just as the hunting predator comes close to kill him, Christine aims and fires from a distance. Peter even praises Christine for her perfect aim, but Christine looks through the scope only to see that her shot didn't actually hit the hunter, it hit a tree. Yet, the hunter is already lying dead. Before they can make sense of anything, a voice suddenly echoes from all around, "I'm right here." While everyone looks around in shock, no one is visible, and right then, a massive figure materializes right behind Peter, aiming its weapon directly at him. Just when Peter gives up hope thinking his death is certain, that hunter removes his face mask, revealing that he is not an alien creature, but a regular human being just like us. The man introduces himself as Noland and warns everyone that these predators have a killer sense of smell, so if you want to save your lives, don't waste another second and quietly follow me. After this, all these people start walking behind Nolan without a second thought, and Nolan takes them inside an old, ruined spaceship left in the jungle. There, Nolan tells them that this place is safe, and he got stuck on this planet just like them. Though all his other companions died, he has survived here alone for the past 3 years by dodging the predators. When one of the team members asked how he got this special predator suit, Nolan reveals he killed 2 predators here and stole this suit right off them. Now, Peter wants to know how it's possible to kill these predators, to which Nolan replies that they are extremely dangerous and their eyes can see us clearly even in pitch darkness using infrared vision. He also drops another major piece of info that there are 2 types of predators on this planet, one group of normal predators and another massive monster predators who hunt not just humans but normal predators too. Hearing this, Peter realizes that the captive tied to the tree was actually a normal predator. Nolan regrets that he has searched for an escape route from here for many years, but found no path. Then, Peter pitches an idea that if they free that slave predator tied to the tree, it might instead help them fly the spaceship and return to their Earth. While talking about this, Nolan suddenly falls asleep. Later, while Peter and Christine were whispering among themselves about this plan to steal the ship, a mysterious smoke suddenly begins to fill the entire room. In reality, Nolan had released this smoke to knock everyone out so he could steal their food and weapons, locking the door from the outside. Seeing the door locked, Peter fires his gun to break it down, and the loud noise of that gunshot is heard by a monster predator a short distance away, who comes straight to the spaceship's location. Arriving at the ship, the predator eliminates the traitorous Nolan outside with the very first shot. Next, as the predator starts searching for the rest, everyone looks for a way out to save their lives. But in this chaos, the doctor gets separated from everyone. When the predator advances to kill the doctor upon finding him alone, Nikolai arrives right then and rescues the doctor. But on their way out, a shot from the predator hits Nikolai directly and he collapses to the ground. The selfish doctor then leaves him behind and escapes alone without trying to save his wounded companion Nikolai. Afterward, when the predator arrives and drives a sharp, pointed weapon into Nikolai's chest, Nikolai knows his death is certain. However, right before dying, the heroic Nikolai quickly pulls the pin on a grenade, blowing himself up along with that predator forever in a massive explosion. On the other hand, the rest find a way out and quickly escape to an open area. But hearing the sound of this bomb blast, a second predator rushes to the scene. Meanwhile, the Mexican convict companion thought he had made it out alive, so as he screams in joy, the predator shoots him from behind, dropping him to the ground, and comes forward to aim a gun at Peter's forehead. Just when Peter gives up hope thinking his death is certain, the convict lying on the ground shows ultimate bravery. He uses his remaining strength to launch a do-or-die attack on the predator with a knife. Although the knife strike doesn't cause much damage to the predator, this window allows Peter and Christine to successfully run and escape from there, while the furious predator brutally kills the convict guy. Following this, the predator tracks the remaining group by following their footprints on the ground. As they run and reach a massive grassy field, their Japanese companion realizes that the predator is still breathing right down their necks. Then, to give his remaining friends a chance to escape safely, the Japanese guy tells everyone to leave and decides to stand alone with courage to fight that alien monster predator head-on. After the others leave the Japanese man in the grassy field and run away from there, the monster predator comes and stands right in front of him. Then, the Japanese man pulls out his sword, and here we find out that he was actually a leader of Japan's biggest gang, the Yakuza. Following this, a chilling fight begins between the predator and the Japanese guy, revealing that this Yakuza leader is extremely skilled at sword fighting. A neck-to-neck clash goes on between them for quite some time as they inflict devastating blows on one another. After a long battle, the Japanese man finally succeeds in taking down the monster predator with a sword strike, but unfortunately, due to sustaining fatal wounds all over his body during the fight, the heroic Japanese man collapses to the ground and dies right as the predator drops dead. As a result, 2 out of the 3 predators are now eliminated, leaving only one super monster predator alive. On the other side, Christine, the doctor, and Peter were escaping through the jungle to save themselves, but suddenly the doctor's foot gets caught in a trap, severely injuring his leg so he is no longer in a condition to walk. Peter then tells Christine that we must leave the doctor behind right here because he can't walk now, and taking him along will slow our speed down, allowing the predator to catch and kill us. But Christine was a highly kind-hearted person. She refuses to leave the doctor behind in this death pit like this and tells Peter, "You go ahead, I will stay here and help the doctor." Afterward, Peter leaves the 2 of them right there and goes straight to the place where the normal slave predator was left tied to the tree. Peter goes right up to it and offers a direct deal, saying, "I will free you right now, but in return, you have to fly the spaceship and get me back to my own planet." This predator could understand human language, so it nods its head and agrees to Peter's terms. As Peter unlocks his restraints, the predator becomes fully free and quite pleased with Peter, quickly putting on his arm shield to set the Earth's location via remote control and start up the spaceship. Now the spaceship is completely ready to fly to Earth. Right at that moment, on the other end, as Christine was supporting the doctor on her shoulder to carry him, they both suddenly get caught in a deadly trap, and this trap was actually set up by that last monster predator. The monster predator arrives there and drops the two of them along with that trap into a deep pit. After that, the monster predator rushes straight to the spot where Peter had freed the normal predator. When the slave predator sees the monster predator in front of it, a terrifying battle breaks out between the two of them. Taking advantage of this golden window, Peter quickly starts sprinting toward the running spaceship, while behind him, the two alien beasts engage in a do-or-die assault on each other. On the other hand, Peter quickly boards the spaceship, and within moments, the ship begins flying into the sky. Hearing its sound, Christine and the doctor down in the pit realize Peter has left them behind and gone alone. But because the monster predator was far too powerful, the normal slave predator cannot last long against it, and eventually the monster predator slices its head off, separating it from the body. Simultaneously, the spaceship Peter was traveling in is blown up mid-air from a distance by the monster predator using the remote control on his arm. Now inside the pit, the doctor reveals his true colors. He pulls out that hidden knife coated with the toxic flower juice and slashes Christine's neck from behind. Due to the intensity of the poison, Christine's entire body becomes paralyzed, and she lies on the ground, completely losing all control over her body. Even though she is alive, she loses the ability to move her limbs or speak. Then the doctor mocks Christine, saying that he was actually a terrifying serial killer back on Earth, and his job was kidnapping and murdering women. Now he will hand Christine over to the predator in exchange for returning to his own planet. Just as the doctor was confessing his secret sins to Christine, Peter suddenly peers into the pit from above. In reality, Peter hadn't even boarded the spaceship. He had come back to rescue his friends. Seeing Peter, the doctor gets completely shocked and instantly starts acting like a good guy again, claiming that the monster predator did this to Christine. Even though Christine wants to tell Peter the truth through signs, she can't do anything because she is paralyzed. Afterward, Peter pulls the two of them up from the pit and sits beside Christine to comfort her. Right then, taking his chance, the doctor sneaks up from behind to kill Peter with that toxic knife, too. But Peter was already alert. He twists the doctor's hand and drives that poisonous knife straight into the doctor's own chest. In truth, while the doctor was telling Christine the truth about being a serial killer inside the pit, Peter had overheard his every word from above. Then, Peter drags the doctor's half-dead body into the monster predator's territory and spreads gunpowder all around his body. Basically, this was Peter's death trap to kill the predator. Peter had already learned that these predators track prey by scanning body heat using infrared fire vision. So, to trick the predator's eyes, Peter coats his entire body in mud so that his body temperature won't get picked up on the predator's thermal screen. A short while later, the last monster predator arrives on the scene and turns on his infrared vision to start scanning for his prey. Because Peter had mud coated on his body, the predator fails to see him and moves toward the doctor's corpse lying on the ground. The moment the predator approaches the corpse and flips it over, Peter's laid trap triggers, as a bunch of grenades were strapped to the doctor's body. Before the predator can process anything, a violent explosion occurs, and he gets severely wounded and thrown far away. Taking this window, Peter sets fire to the surrounding gunpowder, causing the intense heat from the flames to completely lock up the predator's infrared vision, so he cannot track Peter. Peter then takes advantage of the darkness, rushes over, and begins landing strike after strike on the predator with an axe. Within moments, as the flames die down, Peter quickly goes and hides behind a tree. The predator searches all around with his infrared eyes, but fails to spot Peter. However, he suddenly hears the heavy pounding of Peter's heartbeat hidden behind the tree and tracks his location. As the predator fires his weapon, Peter notices just in time and leaps to save himself, but the predator charges over, lifts Peter, and slams him down. Right then, as the paralysis in Christine's body begins to wear off, she crawls to reach her rifle and lands a perfect shot aiming straight at the predator's chest. With his chest riddled by the shot and bleeding out, the furious predator throws a sharp weapon at Christine, which pierces her shoulder. However, due to taking the gunshot, the predator had become brutally weakened, and taking this chance, Peter raises his axe and chops off the predator's arm in one strike, the very one attached to the spaceship's remote control. Following this, with one final blow, Peter slices the predator's head off, separating it from the body. So guys, whether Peter and Christine will finally be able to return to our Earth from this terrifying planet, we will have to wait for the next part of the movie to find out. Don't forget to drop a comment below and let us know how you liked today's bone-chilling movie explanation. If you enjoyed the story, definitely give the video a thumbs up and share it with your movie-loving friends. And yes, subscribe to our Liza's Movie Recaps channel right now and turn on the bell icon next to it. Taking my leave for today, see you very soon with the story of another blockbuster movie. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep watching your favorite channel, Liza's Movie Recaps. Thank you.